Oh, it's good, Commanders fans. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to get the preview out of the way because I just think that I think that the injuries, the only injury that we're really, or injury report guy that we're really waiting on, in my opinion, is Sam Cosmi. I feel like Terry McLaurin is going to play, and I do want to talk about Drake Jackson once again because now they're putting him on injured reserve, and they're doing a sign-in stash where you sign a player. They knew he was injured. They had to have known. I mean, the Niners just cut him and cut bait with him because he didn't pass a physical. And Adam Peters has insight clearly because, you know, he's buddies with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, just their relationship. So he probably asked him, and of course the medical reports and stuff like that. I'm still not a big fan of doing a sign and stash, especially for a guy that is okay, who's not like elite or a legitimate starter. He could be. You never know. You never know. He had 3 sacks in one game. He had 3 sacks in 2024. He has underachieved. And like I said, there's guys who were drafted 2 picks behind him, like James Cook and the other defensive end for the Broncos, that have had like 10 times better career so far than Drake Jackson, who was drafted in the 2nd round. And it kind of reminds me of when we signed Reuben Foster, but it's without the legalities and legal issues. And Reuben Foster could never get on the field. You saw the potential. He was a 2nd round pick, I believe, as well. But he just couldn't stay healthy. He could never get on the field. And this patellar tendon injury and all these knee injuries that Drake Jackson has suffered, it sounds like these could be lingering injuries, of course, you know. So we'll see in 4 weeks if he's ready. It's just like Noah Brown. Noah Brown, he could fool around. We could get 4 weeks from now, he could not be ready. I would not be surprised. You know, I was surprised that Noah Brown was not ready, but now, you know, you kind of fool me once, you can't fool me again kind of thing. We'll see what happens with Noah Brown. And this guy, Drake Jackson, this could be an injury where it's like Bryce Love, where Bryce Love just couldn't get right. Bryce Love just could never get right. Some guys, it happens. Darius Geis, injury prone, just couldn't get right. Well, Darius Geis actually did play some games. But Bryce Love just could not get on the field, and they had to cut bait. It's an unfortunate, sad story. But, you know, we'll see. We'll just give Drake Jackson a chance. But I'm not a big fan of it. I rather would have signed, and I get it, there's not a lot of defensive ends that are out there. But Shaq Barrett, at least he can play. At least he can run around and rush the passer and wreak some type of havoc and do something. At least he can suit up and play. At this point, it's like, can you play? Can you play? We have guys on the roster that can't even play that we just signed. And Dorrance Armstrong, he's another guy that, you know, he's probably, it's really between Sam Cosmi and Dorrance are the 2 biggest injury news that we're really waiting for tomorrow. We're not going to get that today. We're going to get that tomorrow, most likely. Yannick Ngakoue is another guy. And then even Casey Tuhill at this point, at least he can set the edge. So, and then Cleveland Farrell's out there too. I mean, that's how bad it is with injuries for us. Javonte John-Baptiste on IR, Dietrich Wise on IR. We have Jalen Holmes out there right now, Von Miller. Who else? Von Miller, Dietrich Wise. Other than Dorrance, I mean, we just don't have a lot of depth at the defensive end position. Jacob Martin. So, like I said yesterday, we only have Jalen Holmes, Jacob Martin, Von Miller. So that's 1, 2, 3. Preston Smith. So we have 4 guys. 4 guys that can play right now at the defensive end spot right now. So we just don't have a lot of depth. We just don't. So I just feel like, you know, to do a sign and stash is just a questionable move. I get it. He's a former 49er. There's a relationship there. Adam Peters was there when he got drafted in the 2nd round, so I understand. But you got to get guys that are available. Your best ability is your availability. And this guy's he hasn't been available. He didn't even play in 2024. And he's still sitting out. He's still sitting out. So, you know, we'll move on to the next thing here. So, I do want to get a quick word from today's sponsor, Sleeper. And we'll get back to the video. Ooh, what's good, Commanders fans? Just want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper. First time users get 100% deposit match up to $100 using promo code Oliver. If you don't know what the app Sleeper is, it's the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the world. I'm telling you guys, you don't want to miss out using Sleeper. And they're also giving out a free $20 entry. So you get $20 to wager on Sleeper as well for first-time users. So promo code Oliver for 100% deposit match up to $100. You can make picks on receiving yards, passing touchdowns, rushing yards, sacks. There's defensive props that you can make picks on. So many things, field goal points for kicker points, punts, and all kinds of just interesting stuff that you never think about sometimes. But the pick that I have for this week is we're going to use the Bo Nix over a half a passing yard, the free pick that they're giving. And then also JCM Bill over 70.5 rushing yards against this terrible Cowboys rush defense on Sunday at 425. So those are the picks that I'm gonna give you guys for this week. Make sure you guys use promo code Oliver, and then terms and conditions apply. Let's get back to the video. Health Commanders, peace. And that's the last thing I'll say. So, and that's, I think Reuben Foster, he played 2 years and that was it. He didn't play again. He just couldn't get right. So I'll leave that situation alone. We'll see. Maybe he comes back after the 4 games and we're still in the playoff hunt and he gets a huge sack on Jalen Hurts. And we'll be like, oh, man, oh, my gosh, Adam Peters is a genius. So you never know what can happen. We'll see. All right, so the preview for me, I mean, let's go with storylines, of course, the whole Dan Quinn, Dallas. I think everybody's kind of over that. It's not really like it kind of had the juice like last year. Rivalry week doesn't feel like a rivalry, I will be honest with you. Doesn't have the same juice from, of course, the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. It just doesn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Like, nobody even talks it like that anymore. I haven't heard anybody really bring it up. But I know it will be, lit at, like, bars and stuff like that and parties and stuff like that and Commanders fans going to the game, just the banter and the rivalry. So that will be cool. Of course, you got to look back at the history and the historical games that we've had against Dallas, the Maha Miracle. Of course, when we beat them in the playoffs back in the 80s, I wasn't alive for that. But, Sean Taylor picking up the ball and getting into field goal range. Then we made the kick. I went to that game in person. So there's a lot of legendary games that we've had against the Cowboys, of course, over the many, many, many years of the rivalry. But moving on from that, of course, Joey Jr., Dorrance, Noah Tyler Biadasz. So many guys that we have from the Cowboys. Noah Brown, who's not going to play, former Cowboy. A bunch of Cowboy guys that we've had. We brought in Martavis Bryant. He didn't make the team. Michael Gallup, he didn't make the team. But we've made a good amount of Cowboys players, So Dante Fowler, familiarity with him. So this will be somewhat of a revenge game for him, I guess, because he's upset that he didn't get paid by Adam Peters. And he went on, I think he went on Twitter. Yeah, he was on Twitter. He was mouthing off on Twitter. So, let's see, we run at him. And that's why I picked Bill to get over 70.5 rushing yards. We got to run at him. Matt Eberflus, his defensive strategy has been bad. He's been lining up 4 down linemen against 12 personnel, a bunch of tight ends. Just play smash mouth football. Run the football, guys. Make it easier for Jaden. Bill can't fumble. Got to win the turnover battle. You have to, because this will be a Texas Hold'em shootout. So, like I said, from the numbers that I brought up yesterday, too, there's some other numbers that I did find. Their PFF run defense grade right now is dead last in the NFL. Their yards per carry allowed is 24th. Explosive runs allowed is 30th in the NFL as well. So, they are bottom 10 in basically every category. Right now, they are, even in pass yards allowed, they've been bad. Trayvon Diggs has been bad. Deron Bland has been bad. Donovan Wilson has been bad. The whole roster's been bad. Trayvon Diggs has been saying that they should play more man than zone. Matt Eberflus, he's struggling as a defensive coordinator right now. Dallas is 32nd in passing yards per game allowed. And they're also, we're not good either, but they're just as bad, if not worse. They actually are worse than us. They gave up 40 to the Packers. It was a 40-40 tie. Rico Dowdle just had the game of his life against the Cowboys. Every team, even in the wins that they've had, they have struggled and they've given up a bunch of points in every game. Rushing yards per game allowed, they're ranked 29th right now. 29th in rush yards allowed per game, 32nd in passing yards per game allowed. This is a game where Jaden could get going running the ball as well. I thought he started to get going running the ball against the Bears with scrambles. But C-Rod too. C-Rod's a factor too. I don't know if he's gonna play. Debo again. I think Debo may need to set out. Debo's not right. He's not right. I was at the game when I watched it. I know everybody watched it on TV for the most part, but he's definitely not. He may not even be 60%, honestly. He's definitely not 100%. He may not even be 60%. They probably going to have to sit him out and use Treylon Burks or Robbie Chosen. And if you get Terry back, of course, that kind of evens it out a little bit, where you get your number 1 receiver back, but you do lose Debo, who's been your best receiver so far through the first 6 games of the season. Not even a question. But you got to either elevate Robbie Chosen or Treylon Burks when you sign, and they haven't signed it. They need to fool around and sign. At least he can play. At least Treylon can suit up. And he got hurt too, so he might fool around being on IR. But I think he is available to play. Robbie Chosen's healthy, so they need – and Robbie Chosen's another former 49er. What else? How bad they've been. They let Bryce Young go crazy on them too. Touchdowns allowed for run defense. They're ranked 22nd. They've given up 6 rushing touchdowns allowed. Their stuff rate 13.7% allowed, which is 30th. EPA per carry ranked 29th. Run success rate, they're ranked 32nd. Yards before contact, they're ranked 28th. Explosive runs allowed, they're ranked 31st with 27 explosive runs allowed. But I say all this to say this too, like, we were supposed to do this against the Bears and we weren't able to do it. So what's going to change this week? You know, so keys to victory for me is run the ball, protect the football. Very simple, man. It's not complex, especially against a bad defense. Now, defensively is where it gets a little complex. You're going to have to pressure Dak. You're probably not going to be able to get pressure. It's going to be, like I said, a shootout. It's going to be a shootout. But the main thing for me, I would go for it on 4th downs. I would be aggressive. If we're in their territory at all and it's 4th and 4, I know it's a dome, so Matt Gay should be better. There's no weather implications or anything like that. Now, the sunlight may be a factor, too. The sunlight coming through the whatever window that Jerry Jones doesn't like to close up, or the curtains and whatnot. That could be a factor, but it usually hurts the Cowboys where they can't see. I remember CD couldn't see last year one time he had a drop. CD is known for drops, too. He's gonna play for sure. He's known for drops. So that may be a saving grace. I wouldn't rely on that. George Pickens is going to go crazy. Marshawn Lattimore, I would try to get under his skin, but Marshawn always gets a flag some way, somehow. But if he can get under George Pickens' skin, I think that would be a good help. Mikey's got to play better. Quan Martin's got to tackle, excuse me. We're going to need Noah Trey Amos versus CeeDee Lamb. I would match him up on that, but I wouldn't have anybody travel, of course. We just don't have the corners that are capable of traveling and being one-on-one at anybody. Jake Ferguson is a factor. He's a darn good tight end. Do not put Bobby Wagner on him. You got to put Jordan McGee out there. You got to get some speed out there because Jake Ferguson is a really good tight end. He's had 3 touchdowns in the last 3 games. He's had at least a touchdown in each game. So he's been playing well. And Javonte Williams got to find a way to slow him down. Our run defense is not bad. We had a bad game against DeAndre Swift. But for the most part, they've been solid. So Jerome Payne, Javon Kinlaw, those guys got to wake up for sure. But challenges, 2-minute warning. I would be aggressive before halftime. I would try to score because their defense is so bad. Do not waste your timeouts. Use your timeouts wisely before the end of the half. Use them wisely and try to score. Do not be scary. Try to score a touchdown. Go for it on 4th down. This is the defense that you can do it against. Their 3rd down defense is so poor. Our 3rd down defense is bad as well. But their 3rd down defense is bad too. Let me see where I can find the stat too. There's just so many stats where both teams are so bad on defense. We're 29th in NFL on 3rd down conversions allowed. And Dallas is 3rd. They're 3rd. Hold on. Washington offense is really struggling on 3rd down, 29th in NFL, 33%. Dallas, this is from JP Finley. He says Dallas might be just what they need. Worst 3rd down. They're the worst 3rd down defense in the NFL, allowing 50+% conversions. We've struggled on 3rd downs. This could be the get right game for us on 3rd downs. This could be the get right game for us. So, and hold on to the football, Jaden. It is what it is. You got to hold on to the football. I don't want to hear any 6-7 jokes and stuff like that. You know, I love Jaden with a passion, but I'm not a big fan of joking around after a loss. I'm just not. This is how I'm wired. I'm old school. And I get it. He smiles all the time. I love it. He loves the game. He has fun. I get it. But I'm not bashing him for it. But for me, personally, I wouldn't say any TikTok jokes. I wouldn't. I would stay away from. I'm not, man, I don't give a crap. But at the same time, I would just stay away from TikTok jokes at this moment until you win a game. All right. So final prediction, final score. I really don't know, guys. This is the definition of a coin flip. This is a coin flip, definition of a coin flip. Definition of a coin flip. I hate to say it, but I have the Cowboys winning. I do. I have them winning 38-35. I just feel like both defenses are trash. So it's kind of like when I say our defense is bad, you got to say their defense is bad. Their defense is going to give up points. We're going to score. We're going to at least get into the 30s. They're going to get into the 30s. It just comes down to who makes the major mistake. Last week, we did the major mistake, or Monday, we made the major mistakes. Not just one, but we made 3 major mistakes. 3 of them. 2 fumbles and interception. So I think it could be similar to the Broncos Cowboys from a couple years ago, back in 2016, when they was 51-48. It was 2013 actually, 51-38, 51-48, or even a couple weeks ago with the Green Bay Packers. Russell Wilson put up 37 on the Cowboys. Like, we should be at least putting up 35. If we don't put up at least 35, I will be disappointed. I will be, in a win, of course. But this offense should put up at least 30 points. That's how bad the Cowboys defense is, and that's how much I believe in our offense too. But I do have us losing. It's just going to be an uphill battle to win in Dallas, even with their bad defense. Like, I feel like we're the better team, but just the way the season's been going now, this is our Jekyll Hyde game. We've been good one game, bad one game, good one game, bad one game. So this is aligning with the good game. This is the game where we should have a good game. We just have not been able to put two good games together for whatever reason. So I do have us losing 38-35. I just feel like we just don't make enough winning plays in this game to win this game. And there's going to be, I hate to blame refs, but I do feel like the refs are not going to be on our side either. I don't want to cop out and say that. I don't want to say that, but it is what it is. I have us losing 38-35. So, all right, you guys. Hell Commanders. Peace.